of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
Present you people in Brooklyn. For the rest of our audience in New York, Manhattan, New Jersey, will continue. Pennsylvania as well, Philadelphia in particular. Yes. Holy Queen Mother,
do you feel a sense that what you have spoken in regards to losing the favor of Allah up to this time period, that it has been taken serious, or has anyone taken a look into it at all?
I don't know anyone who has taken this seriously more so than my own blood family and those who are maybe connected with my family. But, and that's not all of my offspring, some of them, and those of my unions, they haven't taken them seriously. And most of the people don't even look into it, because see, here's the deal. You can hear the messenger, and you can hear the warnings, and you can hear them so much and so long that you become, as they say, when you take on a drug so much, immune. You become immune to the call. And what has happened in this community, the people have become immune to the call. They love the spirit. They love the high. That's why we gather. But they are immune to the commandments. Therefore, they're falling asleep, so to speak, and find themselves being out of order. And because they are immune to the warnings, they heed not the warnings, nor do they understand the signs of wrath that comes upon them, because they can't associate them to the warning. Ahezaah said, worship me as though I am there being seen. How many people do you think worship Ahezaah as though it is there being seen? Now, I know that in this community, the reports go, when I'm here, everyone see me, they recognize me, and they are on their best behavior. And once I leave, the wars start. The debates, the negative spirits. You see? So that's a sign of this community falling way short of what they have come to gather for, actually, for what I've called them to gather for. Because people come for all different reasons. Some come to take over the community itself, believing that there's some power in them being the king or something. I don't know. But no, I don't think they have taken heed, or they can hear.
Well, brother was speaking to me about the shirk. That's the Islamic term for associating partners
right.
with Lord L. And it was so defined that everyone who is not fully arrived, such as messenger prophets or the enlightened, commits that shirk.
Yes, they do.
They relate, at least themselves.
That's that's the main thing of life that you are created to get over. Associating things with L. In terms, when they say associate, you must associate everything with it. But you should not associate those things as being an independent power. from it. And that's where they make their mistake in committing the shirk that they commit. They commit themselves to a belief that things have power aside from El's power. And nothing in creation is disassociated. The Lord don't disassociate itself from anything. It says, I am the power. I am the glory. If there was anything in existence that had a power aside from mine, I would kill it. Because that would mean there would be something else as powerful as me, no matter how small that thing would be. So it don't disassociate itself from the devil. It said, I created Satan. I created the devil, and I am the essence of hell. I am the light and the fire and the darkness and the smoke. I am all. I am all in all. And see, that teaching was given to us a long time ago, way long before Muhammad. It was given clearly by Enoch, one of the great-grandsons of Adam. Ahezaah has been very merciful to us throughout the history of mankind and giving us the truth. But people always find ways to twist that truth into something else. And the Muslims of Arabia, who has had charge of the Holy Quran after the family of Muhammad, have desecrated the Holy Quran terribly in their translations, in their vocations of it, and have misguided billions and billions and billions of people, many billions who have passed on and gone to hell thinking they was going to paradise already. This is the word from my Lord, Allaah Ahezaah. You know? And see, people don't want to believe a man that's sitting here living, saying that somebody else that went to hell. They don't want to believe that. But again, I say, unfortunately, I am the messenger of Allah to them. I'm the messenger to them, whether they reject me or accept me. Don't matter what you feel, I'm still the messenger of Allah to you, to the world. You know? You have people in this government of these United States of America that's been aware of my presence for quite some time. You have agencies who have set out to do harm to me and to my family and myself. You have people still today working to make sure that we're kept out of certain venues. We're kept from being heard in certain areas in certain ways. Ahezaah haven't let them completely snuff us out, the same way we have people here who refuse to do the work that they've been called to do in service to the Lord Ahezaah. But they haven't been able to stop me and shut my mouth and stop this message from getting out despite what they do. Now, I may not have a great congregation in my presence, but I'm quite sure the way them numbers come from Nielsen, we got a great congregation. But the thing about it is, how do they know we need them to gather to do what is called by Ahezaah for us to do if the people that's here as helpers don't extend themselves out to them, knowing that we are limited in terms of how we can call them on these public broadcasting stations?
Well, you know what? I look at the fact that Ahezaah has not allowed different agencies and different, people of certain status to penetrate us. But in every situation, Ahezaah sends a trial.
Yes,
just like Jesus had Judah, and Judas. In this community, it's like Ahezaah has given us much, but we haven't really taken it and take hold to it and apply it. And so Ahezaah has caused us.
And we've had a number of Judases.
Right. And it's like the living dead. You try to express how it's like a funeral, like death up in here,
Yes.
and nobody seems
Yes.
to notice or care or expound or try to come out of the darkness. So where there's light, which Ahezaah gives to you, and those who seek to be near to you in truth and righteousness, it has covered a large amount of our community in utter darkness. I mean, where they don't even have the mindset to know that when they undress, to undress in the matter of fearing Ahezaah, or to cover in the matter of fearing Ahezaah. They're so surface minded that they're looking at actual clothes and not actual happenings in regards to things. And but even in that, Ahezaah is such a great force, where Ahezaah give you people, but those people, even when they become the opposition, whatever Ahezaah wants to happen, it's going to happen regardless. And the thing is that some people don't know, just like when Allah told Noah to pack up and go, and a lot of people was left behind. Just like when Allah, left them people of Moses wandering in the land. Just, when Allah decides to do a thing, you can't say, oh, I was with you, because, see, Allah knows. See, a lot of African American people, I only could talk about them because I know them, say Allah knows what's in my heart. Well, you need to dig deep and know that Allah knows what's in that heart, knows that filth and dirt that you live off is in your heart. No matter how much you may say Allah's name with your tongue, Allah knows what's in that heart. And that soul knows what's in that heart. That's why that soul start going against that heart. But I thank Ahezaah much, and I pray that the people in our listening audience could take hold and not get lost like the people that has been divinely blessed to sit in the company of the messenger. Know that Ahezaah is real, and if you give yourself up to Ahezaah's cause in truth and righteousness, that Ahezaah is going to take you on that ark and deliver you. But if you think that you're going to bring about a cause for that devil, know that that devil is never here to win.
So well said.
Yes.
It's the truth. One of the problems we have, and I was talking to brother Eunice, and I give him salams, man. Ahezaah's peace and blessings be with him about your presence, brother Eunice. We agreed. It's too much lip service. People say what they don't live. They don't understand Islam, the universal religion of truth, is to be lived, to be actualized, not dressed up and spoken yapped. It's to be lived. You're to put the commandments to practice, to life. Some people, they love the journey. They love the practice. And they don't want the goal. They don't want the actual achievement. They want the struggle. They become perverted on the path. They'd rather fight and die and go to hell than to live and serve and go to paradise. So you got more people talking about, I want to be a mujahideen for Allah. Not even knowing Allah. Because they see what has happened with the people of the book on the other side, and they see them glorious towers of temples and cathedrals and what have you, and they see the great numbers, millions that they show them on television because they have the power to do that, and they be like, I want that too. So they glorify the religion of Muhammad by showing the billions of Muslims and bowing and praying, and then just the act of going down like that becomes the glory of Islam, not the giving up of the heart and the mind and the inner being completely to put it back in the hands of the Lord El, so that you could become one with it and service to it completely. Being of your life, your death, your prayers, so-called prayers and sacrifices. They can't see that. They're stuck looking at forms. outer forms. And they think that's the religion. And they say, I lit a Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad. The Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad was mental. It was mental. It was lived mentally. Now, who knew the mind of Muhammad? The people that was with him during the time he was alive did not even know his mind. His own daughter did not know his mind. They only knew his words. They wasn't up in the state of ikhlas with Allah. Like the brother said to me, try to tell his community once while I was away, a past so-called leader in this community. Well, I've been through Fanabaka and Lika, you know, in the Sufi path. So he has arrived. While I went away on the weekend, that was like Paul had went to Rome and came back and he was enlightened. And Jesus had left and they said, well, Paul is the light now. Had I not come back, the fool who was saying that same thing might be sitting in this seat, misguiding people, leading them to hell, creating a religion off of what Allah has sent down, like they did with Christianity, like they doing with Hadithism, like what has been done to all the religions of the book, people of the book before Jesus and John. You know? I mean, man is so perverted.
Yes, well, like much of the Christian world doesn't.
I should say, excuse me, mankind. Go ahead. Amongst humanity.
Amongst the Christians, amongst humanity, they don't even recognize that that Paul's account was his account. Only.
It was his
not
account,
confirmed
right?
by Jesus,
Right.
book.
Right.
Jesus never met Paul.
Yeah, well, if they can go down to worshiping Mary and Peter and Paul and all that, man, what can you say? They gone. They had to be gone. And if they can go so far as to follow the sun worshipers, which was the Romans, and create saints of their own, who are they but the devil?
And that's, and you know, when you look at them, you have to now personalize it. Back then, that was their happening. Now you have in this happening, even in this community where people worship their sex, food, and money.
Yeah.
You know, it's been replaced by the sun god and all that kind of stuff. But it's the sex,
It's the
the
same
food,
thing.
the money,
And their property.
and their property, and their material things.
Mhm.
You know, all worshiping these
That's
things.
like building the golden calf.
Right.
You know?
Well, how does that relate? Do you give a lesson that the closer that when one is seeking to be on the path, on the journey of the path, and the closer is to righteousness, the more the devil comes out.
Of course.
Attack,
Of course.
Oh.
The closer you get to Allah on the path of the way, the more the devil come out. But that don't mean that devil ain't came out while you far away.
That's right.
What all we saying is that it comes out to equal your drive to get to Ahezaah.
And let me explain something.
It's with you all the time, but as you go up, it goes up to equal your drive. So if you get very near to it, then it may start speaking to you out loud and causing you to recognize the separate state of his individuality in you. That's how deep that get.
But let me just say this here, because we always twist and trick things. That devil that's with you keeps you from getting near to Ahezaah because that's you.
That's you.
That don't want to get near to Ahezaah. But
That's
I
you.
bear witness. The closer you try to get to Ahezaah and more that devil is on you, the more that Ahezaah is manifesting clearly to you.
Yep.
It's help.
Yep. Giving you
It's
the help.
showing you it's mercy.
Showing you the way to power.
So these
It's
people
power.
that's talking about, oh, the devil got me.
They
The
are
devil,
liars.
the devil ain't got you because you trying to get near to Ahezaah. Don't lie to yourself. You ain't trying to get near to Ahezaah, getting butt naked, doing all these filthy things. No. The devil ain't got you. The devil always had you.
Right.
You know,
You
it
are
ain't
of the
if
devil.
you
You are an
trying to get
advocate
near
of
to
the devil.
Ahezaah is going to protect
There you
you
go. Thank you.
and
dear.
have mercy on you.
Mm-hmm. That has been my experience. from the lowest of the low to the highest of the high, my Lord has always been most nearby. And when I called on it, I had faith because it answered. I'm talking about in the beginning and throughout. When I did not know the answers and people confronted me on the streets, when I was in the Nation of Islam and people confronted me on the streets and I came forth with the answers and I said, oh, Allah, that had to come from you.
That's right.
Because I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Open my mouth and it spoke.
Allah said, if you believe
Sends an
it,
angel or whatever. All you have to do, believe and have
it,
faith and
and
open your mouth and let it be with your heart in sincerity, and Ahezaah will guide you. So you can't tell me about
That's right.
anything that you do because I've lived it.
Allah said,
know.
if you believe, it will not harm nor disgrace you.
Thank you.
So if you being harmed and disgraced, no,
You
you
don't
do
believe.
not believe.
There you go.
And I bear witness
There
to that.
you
So
go.
people up here talking about, oh, my devil and my that's just your jive. That's your jive talking devil behind
the same
self.
job you gonna take to the throne of Ahezaah.
Because Ahezaah don't even play that kind of game.
I'm going to give you a seat over there next to her because all we need is for you to be able to say something on the microphone if you want to. We're not going to keep going week after week with you being quiet.
Something that Brother Adam, he was talking about, Holy Green Mother, you mentioned it, we were talking about actually the garments of the people and how the people get lost in their thinking that surface thing like the garment.
Well, why are you saying what he was thinking?
Yeah,
No,
that's
I'm
you took
sure.
that right off my head. Just stop stealing. He could be saying that.
That's right.
Letting the people know that he got a mind.
That's
Not
right.
like, well, why did he replace that other brother?
That's right. Go. We
You
know you
know?
got a mind.
One thing I did want to say is, I come to recognize and I see how much of an honor and a blessing from Ahezaah it is to be even a part of this community and be near to the prophet of Ahezaah. And with that, you talked about, the community becoming too lax in our positions. And it was mentioned already how, Moses' people became far astray and displeased, and Ahezaah became displeased with them, and they were right under Moses. And Judas sat with Jesus. So just being in the presence and in the community of the prophet doesn't, solidify your place with Ahezaah.
There you go.
You got to keep with the word.
There you go.
I mean, I recall.
You let him say that again. You got to keep with what?
Keep with the word.
Got to keep with the work.
That's right.
Yeah, work is a refuge.
Got to keep with the work. Because if you don't keep with the work, then you become lackadaisical and laid back and turn into people like Silky Slim. A hustler. A mental hustler. Hustler of people. And we got quite a few of them out here in this community. See, now I know the people probably saying, why is he ragging his community out? He ain't got to do that. Why don't he just educate? No. I'm not a hypocrite, and I'm not going to sit back on this television program and let you think that my people is right, that I think they right. I know that some of you out there in the world see them, hear them, maybe even do things with them to know that they're not right. So this is one way of me letting you know after all this time, I'm not blind to what they do. I'm not blind to what they do. And they may say to you, well, I'm striving, I'm trying. They love that little 3-letter word, I'm trying. I am trying. Well, I am trying too. But I'm not T-R-Y-ing, I'm T-R-I-ing. The real initiating. The real initiator initiating. You, the real yoker. Because you're going to have a yoke around your neck to carry to Allah. The real. You ain't going to like the weight that's going to be on it.
And one thing, I just want to make sure that our listening audience understand, because, when you characterize people, one thing I want y'all to know, because you're not up close and personal, Holy Apostle is not a hypocrite. You know,
you for that.
I bear witness that he's not a hypocrite. He will turn on me, his children, his mama, anybody else when it comes to Ahezaah or what's right. He's not upholding anybody and covering anything up in regards to what's wrong and deceive or have you to misunderstand his position. That's just the way he is as a man, not a hypocrite at all. So where you might be saying, oh, they need a chance, oh, this, that, and the other, you have to fully understand that he's speaking in regards to people that's been around getting Ahezaah word up close and personal, hot off the press, not for 1 year, not for 2 years. We're going all the way back to 31 years to present.
Yes.
And there's not many people in this community that has been here less than 5 years. And if I typed up our resume and posted up there so you could see it, you would be saying, well, what have they been about? Yeah. Comfort and ease, and that's about it. Outside of that, that's all it's been. You know, and it's an ugly truth, but it is what it is.
But it's not going to stay that way, I'm sure, or I truly believe, because my Lord said there's a lot of work to do. I might end up with myself and you and maybe some of our children and I don't know whom else. But the work got to be done. Ahezaah said it did not give me life and bring me back from death just to have me sit and end up like this with these people holding me back, so to speak. It didn't do that. You know, it's greater than that. And see, it's going to prove to the world what it says it's going to prove to the world. And it's already proven to the world, but the world can't see me associated with all these catastrophes that's going on all around them. They can't see that because they don't want to, those who hear don't want to see that. You know? They'd rather the messenger of Allah not be alive.
Well, you know, the sad part about it is that I know that there is many books that you have written that haven't been published. Now we have the precursor that was published, and if people look into it,
well, I'm not even going to tell you how many we still got.
If people look into the precursor and see the copywritten date on the precursor, they'll see that prophesied, you know, that the prophecies is in the precursor, things that have already been came to be. Yeah. And the books that haven't been published, that has been written for quite some time, you know, in a way is, you know, Ahezaah knows best. But those books also reflect prophecy that may have already taken place. And some people are going to say, oh, he just went back and wrote it. No, the community at A.H.A.D just didn't do what they needed to do and getting the books out. Because we could have got a book out every 3 months and all the books would be published. And we could at least say, no, this was written way before this took place. But it's not for us to prove to the world that what Ahezaah do, because Ahezaah is going to prove to the world what's going on
around this world, Mother, and Lord Holy-Apostle, is it's been so pronounced what's going on. Like Adam described the phenomena down in Arizona, and you're talking about Russia heating up. You're talking about the Earth over its axis, tsunamis, earthquakes. I mean, it's so obvious. You would think that the people would start to listen and look.
Well, they are listening.
They are
looking. But they listening to the wrong ones, and they looking in the wrong directions.
And come on, we haven't given them much to look at. We had a website with the same page on it for 2 years.
2 years. The community never turned the page. And I know a lot of people seen that and said, this is a community I had. When they going to give us something else? But that's another subject. We're going to do it on the next show.
Yes, and as such, we're going to reach out to the audience and say you please tune in again with us next week for another A.H.A.D moment.
In which we're going to continue now.
And so it will be hot, you know. It will be on point. Tune in, check out our address, P.O. Box 8795 Norton, New Jersey.
Who of you want to do things right? to keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things